Let's take a look at some of the coolest websites that I've found from starting YouTube until now. So these are 5 sites that I think you guys need to know about, starting off with this Miranda portfolio. And we're also going to cover all of the mobile versions because it is 2023. And if I don't cover it, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments telling me that I didn't cover it. So let's jump right into it and see what this portfolio is all about. Now, one of the cool things about the Miranda portfolio is that it won Site of the Month on awards. Now that is a massive accomplishment, so props to him. But another cool thing about this is that it mixes a lot of different elements in web design. So one of them is it has a lot of animations and interactions, which I really enjoy in this site, but it also features some physical newspaper type of style here. So it's not your typical SaaS feeling website where everything feels super technical and NFT, and there is some of that in this video, but this is a very different type of site. Now, the mobile version here, as you can imagine, does not feature all of these cool animations that we saw in the beginning. It doesn't feature any animations really, except for this in the bottom here, but we can see that the style is still retained. Now, this is something that we can also see on the second site here. If I go ahead and reload this here, flyhigher.com, we have a few different elements. One of them, which I really enjoy, is the mix of your usual standard website with 3D elements. And this site does it really well with this private jet here. So this is a site that tries to get people to book private jets. And we can see that when we scroll, the jet moves slightly into the screen. So it kind of feels like you're flying by it, which is super cool. And apart from this cool animation here or interaction, we see that we also have some very clear CTAs. So not only is the 3D element helping us understand what the site is about, but the elements themselves help us convert when we want to. So in this case, book an aircraft or book a shared flight. It's a bit above my budget as of right now, so I'm not going to do that, but maybe later. So if we keep scrolling, we see that we get these nice subtle interactions, nothing too crazy, but the main key feature here is going to be that intro animation. So other than this, we also get this super nice slider here. Now, we know how boring sliders can be, and it's something that all sites tend to have these days, but when's the last time we saw a custom slider like this? I think it's just a very nice touch. But if we go into the mobile here, we can see that there is still that 3D interaction. And if you guys are wondering how I'm even seeing the mobile version when I'm on the computer, this is just inspect on Chrome. So make sure that you right click and select inspect, and that is how you can get to this view right here. But if we scroll down, we'll see that we have a lot of the same things. We have subtle interactions that can help us tell the story of this private jet site. We have some very key imagery that tells us the story of the app and how we can use this service. So this is just a great site in my opinion. Now this next site is more of a unique portfolio from Artemii, Lebedev, might have butchered it, not sure. But if we click on alternate mode, we see that we get this glass pill here that starts to change colors. Now, I'm not too sure what this glass pill says, but it doesn't really matter because it's a portfolio. And this is what I like about web design portfolios. It's that they can be very creative and you don't really need to excuse yourself because that's just who you are and that's what you're trying to showcase in this digital version of yourself. Now, the mobile version has this pill as well. We can also click alternate mode and it'll switch there. But one of the things that I enjoy about the site is going to be the unique layouts that we see in front of us here. Now, there is a theory that most websites have the exact same layouts, whether it's text on the left, image on the right, you know, it's very similar. But here we see some more unique layouts, and we also accompany that with some really cool glass 3D images. Now, some of you might not know this, but I actually studied 3D design in university. So if you guys want me to cover how we can create and achieve effects like this in 3D to then put into your site, let me know in the comments because I can do that for you guys. Now, if we take a look on mobile, we see that this styling is the exact same. It's just stacked and made sure to be working properly in mobile. We have this glass animation here. So something like this is something that can really showcase your own personality when you're reaching out to clients. You see this glass beating heart. Who else in the world is going to have that? It doesn't matter because it's only your site. Now, the next one here is something very unique. So Frame.io is a pretty boring type of company. What they do is that they allow you to type in comments on videos, and we actually use that in this channel. So I know quite a bit about what these guys do. But the cool thing about this is that they didn't just decide to do a regular SaaS website. Instead, they opted for more of an Apple style experience. So when you scroll all the way down, we get this entire animation and experience that you're going directly into the camera and you're seeing into the lens of the editor and all these different things. And so this is something that can really bring you in and immerse you into the experience of this entire site. If we take a look on mobile, we see that we have the same styling, the same type of imagery. We even have the same animation here. So it really goes to show that the the animation can stay when we're in mobile, especially with sites like this, like SaaS sites or marketing sites. So it doesn't matter that you have this crazy animation, as long as it loads properly and it entices the user to stay and look longer. I think that is a great use case for this type of animation or interaction. Now, talking about interactions and absolutely insane animations, take a look at DeSo.com. Now, this is a site that I was recently informed about, so bear with me here, but this site is absolutely phenomenal. This is one of the best storytelling scroll action performances I've seen on a site to this date. So let's go ahead and scroll. Now I'm gonna grab the sidebar here so it can be a bit of a smoother experience. Maybe not, I'm just gonna use my trackpad here. Let's start scrolling here and see what we can achieve. This is a crypto website, so we know what comes with that. A lot of animations, a lot of interactions, a lot of techie kind of stereotypes, but this is very, very different because we are seeing a style that isn't really used a lot with crypto sites. For one, the typography, the coloring isn't the typical purple, neon green, and black, and anything that you see on Dribbble. It's not necessarily what we're seeing here, which is fantastic. This has more of a vintage feel, and we can see that right here. This has more of an 80s super vintage type of feeling, and the typography itself doesn't necessarily scream crypto. It screams maybe health brand, maybe something more organic. So this is a very nice touch to something so technical. And one of the coolest parts about this entire site is when we scroll past this bridge section here, we go directly back into 2D. So this entire experience, we've been in 3D, some typography, yes, but then we go back into 2D. That's an incredible transition from being extremely 3D and unique to your usual 2D layouts like we see right here. Now we're only halfway there, but you might be wondering, how does this even look on mobile? Are we gonna see any of these animations or interactions? We'll get to it in just a second. I just wanna show you guys the ending of this because it's phenomenal. So we have this entire feature length film almost thing that's going on here. And then as we scroll past it, we get an about section, we get some news articles, and then we finish off with one last animation that kind of puts it into place. So this is super nice in my opinion. Now in mobile, what we see here is something completely different. So we do still have that storytelling element where we see a lot of different sections, but as you can see, that entire animation where we went through this different shapes and all these different things, that has just been simplified to a background image, but we still see the content here. So in this case, the developers decided to not include all of that interaction and animation and just have the plain, simple information. And that's completely fine. You know, if we do decide that it's too much for the user on mobile, then it also makes sense to just get rid of it and have something that can just showcase the information that you want people to know, and that's completely fine. So we can see all that summarized really well in the end here. Instead of having all that interaction place the box down in the middle, we just have the box flat as an image, which is also, you know, it's fine. It doesn't need to be insane. So that covers 5 absolutely incredible different sites here. We have the Miranda, Paper Portfolio, the HYER private jet thing. We have this really nice portfolio. We have frame.io, which I use all the time. And then we also have this crypto site with just one of the craziest 3D animations that I've seen on a site before. If you guys enjoyed this video or didn't know about any of these sites, do let me know down below which one was your favorite. I respond to all the comments always, so let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.